This is where the cereal start, yo. That's all they got. Well, they got oatmeal right there. Look at that. That's it. That's it. The whole thing. 50% off. You know, that's it for cereal right there. Who want a box? You want a box? You want a box? You want a box? Then look at this stuff. It's all gone. It's a huge conspiracy. The unicorns, they raised it? That's crazy. 50% off means 50% extra. Oh man, we can't even get no cheap cereal today. Oh shit, oh shit. Ooh, Snickers and what's it say? Beef jerky. Somebody bought all the nasty beef. Mushroom crisps. Now that's new. Let's try it. I'm gonna try this. No clue why. We're gonna try that. Yeah, there used to be snacks on this side, and there are no more. There are no more snacks left in Kroger's. If you're looking for snacks, you can't come out to this Kroger's today, because the snacks is gone. But if you do like any of these nasty little giblets that's left over, 50% off. Ooh, assorted sandwich cookies.
For no time.
What are those random cans right there? Only you. Who wants chips? Oh, it doesn't matter who wants chips because there are none.
Let's get some potatoes.
I hope they got cheese because we don't have enough cheese for grilled cheese. Oh, fish place. Alright, we'll be back for 1/3 segment of this video.
I successfully participated.
Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. I'm like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the whole elect. Who is in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Real quick, this is just a quick lesson. As we saw the video, displaying the empty empty store shelves throughout the country. I did a little search on it, and it says crazy days. I didn't click on this video. I didn't even look at it, just for purposes of not getting a strike. People be real finicky about their information. But empty shelves. She went to the grocery store. I'm assuming she's talking about not having enough. What's behind empty shelves at the store across the U.S. And this has been going on since like 2020, even beyond then or before then, prior to then, because we've been in a retail apocalypse technically since the recession back in 2008, 2009. And it really started to show its feathers around 2016, 17, when they was announcing hundreds of stores and layoffs in those particular years preceding up to this particular year. Now they're talking about more layoffs. Like Janet Yellen is basically begging them to raise the debt ceiling, because if not, mass layoffs will come about, and these things are going to come suddenly, because like the average American, they get up, they go to work, go home, eat dinner, go to sleep, get up, go to work, go home, eat dinner, go to sleep. It's a repeating cycle. That profits no merit. It's all vanity. But these people are going to get caught off guard, because the way of normalcy to them is going to be an abrupt change. They're going to pretty much get caught out there thinking they're going to have a job the next day. And before you know it, they're going to get those emails like, look, we laying off, we're going to furlough about 1,000 of you. The rest of you got to apply for another job. And, work is going to be scarce to the point that these big box stores or these big corporations shutting down. Hospital jobs are not going to be hiring as much. Than your municipality jobs. They're going to downsize, and the governments and so forth. Then you may be left with a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a gas station, Burger King's, and even those places are getting ready to cut back because they're going digital, meaning that they're not dealing with human interaction as far as like cashiers and drive-through stations and stuff. They're getting automated robots to do that shit. Okay, while you may have one cashier one cook, and maybe a manager and a janitor on site. The stores are going to be completely fully staffed, okay, because the positions, they're not going to be able to pay them out, which leads to famine, pestilence, okay. No food to be found. Walmart would spawn after shelves left empty at DC stores. So this is a nationwide thing. As the previous lesson, we went into basically the concentration camps, how a lot of these stores are being systematically shut down to be holding centers for people to get that juice, or that you dig in their arm, that implantable device. Okay, so we got to be mindful of these things, man. The luxuries we want to have, we ain't going to be able to have them too much longer. Like right now, it's easy to go to the store and get soap and water and milk and eggs and all that other stuff. But sooner or later, these things are going to start to disappear. The particular processing plants that's being burned down, Esau and scorched around 18,000 cattle last week. Just fucking blew them up, which is going to up the price in beef. Okay, because I went to the little taco spot the other day, and I was asking the worker, I was like, y'all still got the Taco Tuesday special? He said, we can't afford to do it anymore because beef is running us like $300 a case, which back in the day, beef was really cheap, just like chicken. So now they can afford to run the Taco Tuesday special, which a lot of corporations can't. A lot of these privately owned chains and so forth that get good business, you notice they don't really branch out because it's privately owned, So it's getting to that point, man. And he said when lettuce goes up to like $200 a case, he says he don't know how they're going to survive. Get a taco place without lettuce and beef. That's unusual. But the famine is coming, man. When the famine hits here in America, you people, you're going to suffer the most because you thrive off bread and circus. Okay, like the retail industry and the food industry in America is one of the top grossing, profiting businesses in the world because we know that the American people have an exceptional appetite, man. They love to eat and drink, wine and dine, and they have what they call binge shopping, or it's another retail therapy, and sometimes food therapy. Like right now, you go to any restaurant, it's 10:30 in the morning. Around 11:30 is lunch hour. That's when you get that lunch rush. So from between 11:30 and 2 o'clock p.m., the restaurants are packed. Okay, people are spending money. People are tipping. People buying alcohol, especially with this NFL draft nonsense being in Kansas City this week. Oh, man, the freaking restaurants is going to be making a lot of freaking money because they send me emails to certain places. Like this is one place that I wanted to check out. Got some good deals, man. And I may even go down there tomorrow because they still got the draft thing. I may go down there tomorrow, and have a bite to eat and a couple of drinks and stuff like that. But even then, like the retail sector of America is very profitable, very profitable. Okay, so when these things begin to falter and your global supply systems continue to be choked up or halted, that's when you're going to start to see the people to lash out. Okay, that's when people are going to really start to really show their true horns. Okay, that's when the door-to-door and the kicking in doors and holding gun points and the bartering, all that shit is going to come back, man. All right, so we got to be mindful of the times we're living in. It says shoppers react after Walmart announces closures of 3 suburban stores. So, yeah. And they made it seem like it was only the closing of the city stores, but allegedly the suburban stores are closing too. So America's shutting down, man. They're getting ready to bring this thing in, and they're getting ready to control the narratives, man. They're getting ready to ration this food out to the point that, hey, you may go to a particular place and they may only have a can of beans, some soup, and maybe a slice of bread for you. And in order to get that, you're going to have that C-hip in you, man. So regardless of that, it's going to be a bad situation for us all, but we got the Spirit of the Lord, man, so we have nothing to worry about. All right, so this is the book of Ezekiel 7, and I'm going to start at verses, let's start at 10. It says here, behold the day, behold it is come, the morning is gone forth, and the rod had blossomed, and pride had budded. Okay, pride, man, and that's one reason why the Lord is getting ready to stiff arm you people, because of your pride, because you just know without a doubt, and you Americans are so damn stupid. I mean, here you're supposed to be the top nation on the planet, but yeah, you have the lowest IQ by far. And the fact about it is, like, you people are so controlled. Like, I was reading a comment yesterday section of a video. They was like, these people continue to take our rights and we get mad and do nothing about it. And one guy commented and was like, well, what do you expect? We're just so controlled by everything to the point we ain't going to do anything. And he's absolutely right. You are being literally controlled, and they're holding your jobs and, you know, your livelihoods and all this stuff. They're holding this stuff over you people's heads. You know what I'm saying? They making you think, well, look, maybe if I hold on a little bit, or maybe if I, just play ball with it, things will get better. You know, instead of them taking, my job, they may took 10% of my pension, and that's fine. But I still got my $200,000 job, but they taking my pension. And before you know it, they're going to be chopping down more and more until they totally own and consume you. Okay, you people should have been out here doing what you're supposed to do. Like other countries, they don't play. They don't hesitate, man. They don't stall. They get right down to business. They sent them leaders and so forth out there in France. Them niggas got it the fuck up out of there. They got up out of there. They're like, nah, we ain't deal. These people are crazy. They burning down our courthouses and stuff like that. Why you people, man, your governments, they just know you ain't gonna do nothing. So they ain't even worried about you. I mean, they'll pass a bogus law literally oppressing you, and you people will get mad and say what you say, but you're afraid to take it there. Because you're afraid that if you take it there, there's no bound for recovery for you to go back to your lifestyle. Well, I'm here to tell you that you ain't got a lifestyle anyway. Okay, your livelihoods are just totally through. So whether you fight for them or not, they're gonna still take your freedoms from you. Even David Hodges brought that out. David Hodges, he's through. He's seen it. He said, "Look, the writing is on the wall. America is through." He said, "I ain't even a Republican no more." He said it. David Hodges was like, "Look, I'm not even a Republican anymore. I support certain candidates, but I'm not a Republican anymore, because these liberals here, well, not the liberals, but these what do you call it? These patriots here, they're seeing the writing on the wall. They know that this place is done. They know that America is falling. They know that their country has been hijacked, and they know that their civil freedoms are pretty much non-existent. So they're ready to the point. They're ready to fight. They're like, you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. We're done. They're just pretty much letting the ship sink until it hits the water. Then they gonna hop out and try to find a lifeboat. But it's a done deal, man. You know, it's done. David Hodges admit that. He said it's done. It's through. And you can hear it in his voice. He sounds like a man that's totally defeated. And you should feel that way, okay? Because what you've done, you've oppressed our people, man, okay? I don't give a damn if you are trying to bring out the facts and truth about the economy. Your ancestors or your great-grandparents had us as slaves. So you directly profited from that American lifestyle you had. Now it's time for you to pay up, buddy. You know? And it says here, violence has risen up into a rod of wickedness, and none of them should remain, nor of their multitude, nor any of theirs, neither shall there be wailing for them, because nobody's going to cry for the people, especially you, Jakes. Nobody's going to cry when you get hit. And it's going to be worse on you tribes because you don't see what's coming. You see, you're totally oblivious by it. As long as you got hip-hop culture, BET, Facebook and Instagram that you can be a total degenerate on, then you ain't trying to hear nothing else. You know what I'm saying? You feel like, well, you know, the white man going to take care of it. Well, yeah, you're right. He is going to take care of you when he puts you in them prisons and do away with you, which is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. But it says, and the time has come and the day draweth near, that let not the buyer rejoice nor the seller mourn, for the wrath is upon the multitude thereof. For the seller shall not return to which is sold, although they were yet alive. And the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which should not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. Okay, right? Because your endeavors, the things you put your faith in, your pride, your jobs, man, you know, whatever things you exonerated yourselves in, then it's not going to work. It says they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but not go into the battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. And the point is in 15, it says the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. Okay, he that is in the field should die from the sword. That's like the countrysides. And he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. And it makes sense that the famine will hit the most in the city, because this is where the most people are concentrated. The pestilence being the diseases, the more people that die, the more of an effect it will have on these diseases, man. So it makes sense that the cities are going to be totally in chaos mode. They're going to burn these cities to the ground, man. Okay, and that's going to be the reality of Babylon the Great in a short while here. You know, because when you go into Revelation, the 6th chapter, say it was given to him to kill over a fourth part of the earth, to kill with death, roughly paraphrasing it. That's why the Western Hemisphere is experiencing the highest death tolls when it comes to this, you know what? Okay, because the Most High has given his devil, which the fourth part of the earth is really talking about the Americas, man. The Western Hemisphere, the Americas. You know, like NATO and the EU, they're directly influenced through the West. So, I mean, that applies to them too. But the fourth part of the earth is over here in the West, because this is the last part of the earth that was discovered. Because during the ancient world, they focused more on the central plains of Asia, which Israel is located in Asia. And actually, Israel is so beautiful because it harbors all the continents, so to speak, in the Middle East. Okay, it touches on Africa, then it touches on Europe and Asia. And I won't really say Europe for the most part, but even then it's in that centralized location. So it's really in the middle. It's really in the middle of Africa, Europe, and Asia, because technically Israel is a country located in Asia. Okay, it's really in Asia, to be technically honest with you. It's not in Africa, you know. But in the ancient world, the Middle East, or I won't even say the Middle East, the East. Okay, and you got Asia, and then you have with the land of Israel, or in Africa. You have Africa, Israel, and Asia, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, when I say Israel, I might as well say Asia. So you have Asia, Europe, and Africa that the ancient world pretty much centered on. Okay, the fourth part of the earth, which is the last part of or the furthest part over here, this wasn't discovered until Gad came over here. Okay, and that was years and years ago, and you can read about that in 2nd Esdras 13. Okay, it was known that they came to this side of the world and lived here, but Esau put this side of the world on a map when he discovered it, which he never made it to. I mean, Columbus never made it directly to America. Okay, he docked in what they call Hispaniola, which is the DR today, Dominican Republic, where Haiti and the Dominican Republic, they're pretty much on the same island. Okay, but even then, the fourth part of the earth was discovered, and Esau has control over that, man. You know, the scriptures go into detail on it. But it says, and he that is in the field should die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence should devour him. But they that them that shall escape, and should be on the mountains like doves, in the valleys of all them mourning everyone for his iniquity. And all hands should be feeble, and all knees should be weak as water. And they should gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror should cover them, and shame should be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads, because people are going to pretty much be in a state of mourning. Okay, they're not going to have faith in their careers, because it's not going to be a career to go to. Okay, it ain't going to be a 9 to 5 you can work. Okay, it's going to be totally chaotic. People are going to be getting evicted out of these houses, their homes, their apartments, their lofts, you know, because shit, they're going to still want their money. But once chaos erupt, all that's going to come to halt. You know, it's going to be pretty much survival of the fittest. You see? So this is the book of Ezekiel 12. And I'm going to start at verses 17. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, eat thy bread with quaking, and drink thy water with trembling and with carefulness, man. Okay? And that's the point. Ration things out. You ain't going to be able to, your money ain't going to be able to buy the things that used to buy, man. Like back in the 90s, those 4th of July picnics we used to have when we were kids, man. 200 pounds of chicken wings for $50, man. You couldn't beat that. Now a pound of chicken wings cost your ass $20-$30, man. You see? It's getting bad out here. And it's just going to get worse. Why? Because the Lord, he sanctioned it. 2nd Esdras 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. What's that? Your stores, your grocery stores. And the trumpet should give a sound, which when every man hear it, they should suddenly be afraid. So these are prophetic visions that the men of the Lord have seen, and they will come to pass, okay, in our lifetime. You can count on that shit because it's happening already. You see? Yahweh Shem Shai is really bringing a judgment, and it's just going to intensify. All right, 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to start at verses 48. It says, for thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and adventures. Therefore, thus says Yahweh, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Man, and the glory of the power should be dried up as a flower, and the heat shall rise that is sent over thee. And thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lover should not be able to receive thee. And I will with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, says the Lord. Okay, so that's the point. Yahweh Shai, man, he's going to bring you heathens down. Okay, because it says, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thy hands, and saying over their dead when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance, and the reward of thy whoredom should be in thy bosom. Therefore should thou receive recompense, judgment. Okay, the Lord is going to pay you back, like as thou hast done it to my chosen, says the Lord. Even so shall the Most High do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. And thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword, and thy city shall be broken down, and all thy shall perish with the sword in the field. And we just read that in Ezekiel as well. And this is going into you heathens too, mainly you heathens. This is really going into Moab, man. Okay, when it says Asia, and it's going into Babylon as well, man. Okay, Babylon, Syria, all you nations. It says, and they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh, cannibalism, and drink their own blood, like a zombie apocalypse almost, you know, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. But you're basically going to be famished, okay? Basically, you're going to eat yourselves because that's how bad it's going to get out here. And it says, and thou is unhappy shall come through the sea and receive plagues again. So, you demons, man, you through. You have a lot to worry about. Us, we going to be straight, man. And I got one precept to prove that. This is the book of Psalms. I think it's 37. And let's start at verses 18. It says, the Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their innocence shall be inheritance shall be forever. Salakia. And they shall not be ashamed in the evil time. As in the days of famine, they should be satisfied. Okay, so famine is coming. We're going to have more than enough to eat. Because there's going to be food out here, but you people ain't going to have access to it. You see? The military, they're going to ration things out and they're going to hoard things for themselves. But the average person, you ain't getting nothing to eat unless you get the sea hit. And those of you that refuse, you're going to die. Period. Those of us that refuse, that got Yahweh Shai, it says they should not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they should be satisfied. But the wicked should perish, and the enemies of the Lord should be as the fat of lambs, meaning you're going to be a sacrifice. And they should consume away, into smoke shall they consume away. Because the end game is when the missiles hit this place, man. So expect a lot of weird shit, man, you know. Like I say, don't be surprised when the dead start popping back up. The Lord did speak of a resurrection from the dead to judgment. So as time progresses, you may start seeing souls pop back up on our earth, man, just to get the missiles. So don't be surprised, man. We're living in a time that anything is possible. And when I say anything, anything is possible. So don't put nothing past the Lord. Can't count him out. But anyway, I'm going to end at that. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shai. And with that, shalom and a baba ball.